guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Follow me on Instagram at BaileyMStewart. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about my fitness journey. I've been asked to film this video a lot. I did a fitness Q&A a while ago on my story and filmed it, and I don't know, I didn't really like it. I might still upload it. Hopefully this video will answer a lot of those same questions and kind of give y'all more in depth of how I grew my glutes. If you're interested in seeing that, just keep watching. I guess I'll start with high school. I've always kind of had a bubble butt. It was not huge, although people, and even in high school, thought it was huge. But when I look back at photos, I'm like, what? People, some girls, even upperclassmen, would start rumors saying that I wore butt pads. First of all, it didn't even look like I wore butt pads, but thank you. I just took it as a compliment, but that's just like, people have always kind of told me my body was fake even though it wasn't. I did not exercise at all in middle school or high school. You wouldn't catch me doing anything, but I did. I would do starvation diets. I always wanted a big butt, but a small, like abnormally small 22-inch waist, and I was skinny fat because, again, I didn't work out and I didn't eat the cleanest. I would binge eat because I would I'm not going to eat anything. I'm going to see how long I can go without eating, and then it would get to the point where it's like I'm so hungry and deprived that I would just binge on nothing but junk food. And that was kind of my whole high school, you know, that was what I was like the whole 4 years of high school. And then after I graduated, I got a job at Ulta as a hairstylist. Did I work out? I think after I quit, I started lifting. I started watching Grace Fit UK's, is this too dark? YouTube. Grace Beverly. She was my favorite YouTuber. She made lifting look so much fun, and back then I thought that lifting heavy weights would give me a tiny little muscle booty, which is like, I thought it would make it look smaller, because back then, before I started lifting, fitness wasn't that big. And you know, you saw someone who was lifting was an older woman and had like this itty bitty muscle booty, and I was like, I don't want that. I don't want to look like that. I want my butt to be big. And then my brother started lifting and was like, no, it's not gonna make you small, it's gonna make you bigger. And I was like, no, that's not true. That's not true. And then I saw Grace Beverly, and she was lifting and her body was like goals. So I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna start lifting. So I bought a barbell with weights from Walmart and started lifting at home. And once it was like only 100 pounds, but I was like working on my form, figuring out what I wanted to do, and I quickly fell in love. But doing it at home, it just wasn't as motivating. So I was like, all right, once I maxed out and was like, this 100 pounds is way too light, I got a gym membership and slowly worked up my courage to go to the weight area. It's very intimidating at first, but you just kind of have to get through it and realize, you know, no one's looking at you. If you make a mistake, laugh it off and just keep going, you know? Yeah, and then I really found passion in it. Like, it wasn't just, oh my god, I have to go work out. I was excited to lift. I was excited to wear my Gymshark fits. I bought every Gymshark launch, like anything they released that Grace Beverly had on, I would buy it because I was obsessed with her. She was my Fitspo. And yeah, I also learned GVT from her, which was German volume training, because she was doing that for a little bit. And I can get into that in a more detailed video if you want to learn about GVT. But yeah, anyways, so I started lifting, I think that was 2017. So I've been lifting for a few years, probably 4, is it 4? I think it's 4. Kind of fell in love with it and have been learning as I go. Like the first 2 years, I was only focusing on my glutes. I was not doing quads. And I think that's why a lot of people probably think that I have a BBL. I don't have a BBL, and I feel like it's pretty obvious, but a lot of people, I get a lot of hate saying I do. My body's 100% natural. The only thing I've touched is like a milliliter in my lips, and I'll show you what a milliliter looks like. It's literally nothing, but my body is 100% natural. For the first 2 years, I did not want big quads, so I was only doing like glute movements. I never did squats, never did leg press. It was like hip thrusts, glute bridges, RDLs. I did hamstrings though. Those were my main stuff, and a lot of accessory movements, because back then everyone was like, oh my gosh, yes, do this, do that, donkey kickbacks, cable machine squats, and stuff like that. Like accessory movements that don't really grow your glutes as much as compound lifts do. That's what I was doing. I did see muscle growth, I definitely did, and my butt perked up. It started gaining, but then after those years I was like, all right, I want big quads. I want big thighs. I feel like it makes you all over just look thicker, and that's what I wanted. So I have now been doing quads, squats, all that. It's just taking a lot longer to grow my quads because I am glute dominant, so that's why my legs look small. But that is why my legs are smaller, because for 2 years of that training I was just doing glute stuff because I was scared of big quads. I thought it would make my butt look smaller, but I've gotten over that. I am now training quads, trying to grow them, but my glutes are just always like, if I work out and do more quad stuff, I feel it in my glutes. It's hard to feel it in my quads, so I'm struggling with that. But also for like the first few years of lifting, I wasn't eating enough. I was not in a caloric surplus. I was still eating like 1,200 calories, so that really hindered my progress. I now eat 3,000. I slowly worked my way up. I didn't just be like, oh, I'm gonna start eating 3,000, boom. No, I have worked my way up to 3,000 just because I was not gaining weight. Even at 2,500, 2,800, I struggle with gaining weight, you know? Everybody's body is different, and so I upped my calories. I have slowly started to see my glutes and legs grow thanks to caloric surplus. I think if you really want your glutes to grow the most, you can't be afraid to eat. And a lot of people say, another reason people say I have a BBL, this is probably all over the place, is because I still have a tiny waist. It's called a clean bulk. There are plenty of people who have grown their glutes so much and still look skinny in the waist. So it's called 1, genetics, 2, a clean bulk, and 3, compound lifts target your core. As soon as I started lifting, I did not have any toning, any definition in my stomach. I was skinny, yes, very skinny, but it was like not toned at all. And then once I started lifting compound movements, I got abs, because again, I was eating in a caloric deficit. I was eating way too little, but I had abs because doing that stuff targets your core. So again, another reason why maybe I haven't grown as much in my waist. Clean bulk, I ate clean. Compound lifts, I did glutes 2 to 3 times a week. And again, it's genetics. Like, I have gained stomach weight. Like, don't sit there and think I haven't. I have, but I have been able to limit it. I don't think that means automatically someone has had a BBL. Also, my belly button, my stomach, you can tell I have not had a BBL. You can tell by my hips I have not had a BBL. So, anyways, I just wanted to address the BBL rumors because I don't. And I don't have enough money for a BBL. I guess to what I'm doing now, I'm eating 2,800 to 3,000 calories a day. Caloric surplus, obviously I'll start lowering that when I hit my goal. I don't think I'm anywhere near my goal yet though. I train glutes 2 to 3 times a week. I'll do 2 heavy days, and then my third day, if I'm not too sore, I normally am, I'll do lightweight stuff, a lot of resistance band stuff. And I feel like that really helps grow your glutes and perk it up, give it a nice bubble butt shape. And I do train upper body, just not as much. I guess I'll go into, now that I did my fitness journey, I've been lifting since 2017, all about that. I'll go into, I guess, the main things that I feel like really help me grow my glutes. 1, Eating more. I wish I would have known that a while ago. I feel like my growth could have been 10 times more had I known that. Don't be afraid to eat. If you don't want to gain as much weight on your stomach area, do a clean bulk, eat more clean foods. I upped my protein intake and I feel like that made a world difference. Like, I was eating my body weight in protein. Obviously, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist, so I'm not saying go do this to grow your glutes. Everyone's body is different. So just keep that in mind. This is what I did. This is what worked for me. And then I focused on compound lifts. I used to believe that you had to change up your workout every single time. No, you don't. It's just all about progressive overload. So I did my compound lifts, which are like glute bridges. Hip thrust is number one. You need to be doing hip thrusts. I do it every leg day. Hip thrust every leg day, whether it's quad focused or hamstring focused. I do glutes and hamstring focused days, and then glutes and quad days, and then like the third day if I can fit it in, like resistance band stuff. And so I just focused on the same movements. I just worked on progressive overload. So whether that was changing up my reps, my weight, or my sets. You don't have to go and change up your workout every time you do leg day. I feel like that was always posted, like that was a huge thing on Instagram with Fitspos saying that, and I got into that. Like, I was like, oh, they're saying I have to do this, so I did it. But that's, no, you don't have to do that. I 10 out of 10 don't recommend doing that. Just focus on your heavy compound lifts and with progressive overload. And another thing is resistance bands have helped tremendously. It wakes up your glutes. So I have a job where I'm not as active throughout the day, so when I go to the gym, I really need to wake them up. My quads don't really take over, but for most women, the quads take over, and so you're not getting glute activation. So make sure you're warming up with resistance band stuff, and overall, even if you're doing at-home workout, like a full like resistance band workout would help tone and perk up your booty. Like, it's just, resistance bands have completely changed the game of glute gains. So if you don't have a resistance band yet, definitely invest in one. I think it makes a world difference. Also, mind muscle connection. This is something I still kind of struggle with. You just have to be in the right mindset before you go to the gym, which obviously everyone has their off days. It's really important to like focus on what you're doing and the movements and go slow. So what helps me is I close my mind, and I kind of sometimes like put my hand like on my glutes, like the muscle, to like really focus. And I feel like you feel it, like the burn 10 times better when you're focusing on the movement and going slow and kind of feeling the muscle move. If that even makes, I don't know how to describe it, but you just know the feeling if it's happened. So mind muscle connection is really important. Going slow through the reps, feeling it, and focusing on it. I feel like that has really helped me. Also, hip hinging. I learned this from, oh, what is his name? I'll try and find it and have it insert in here. Is he a personal trainer? I don't know, but he's got a fitness Instagram, and his glutes are just massive. And I didn't know about hip hinge. I was like, huh? But it helps with form so much. So you want to think about like pushing your hips out when you're doing a movement. Like if you're doing an RDL or a good morning, you're pushing with your hips out while keeping your spine aligned and neutral. He has helped me, and Brett Contreras, I feel like they help so much with like form and showing it and talking about it. So I 10 out of 10 recommend following them. Form is key to growth. So it's really important to focus on getting your form down before trying to lift super heavy and then injuring yourself. So always be careful with that. Okay, so I wanted to talk not just about the physical aspect of my fitness journey, but also the mental impact as well. I've grown so much mentally, and how I view myself has changed completely from like when I first started lifting. I used to hate my body, and I had no confidence at all. Like, I didn't even like looking in the mirror. I wouldn't do it. I also really didn't enjoy anything fitness. I was never into sports. The hand-eye coordination wasn't there. And anytime I thought about like working out, I just automatically thought of, oh, I don't want to go on the treadmill and like and just run for who knows how long. Like, that's boring. But I was also too intimidated weightlifting. Once I started lifting, it was, it was fun, it was enjoyable, and I found passion in it, and it was good for my health. And I don't know, it was just nice to be into fitness, whereas my whole life before that, I wasn't fit at all and didn't do any sports or anything like that. Yeah, once I started to see results, was like the first time I ever felt confident in my body, or even like in just myself in general. I just hated the way I looked. I would look in the mirror and point out every single flaw. Like my mental health was like with my body was just not it, and I just honestly wasn't confident in myself, wasn't happy with my body. And then after, lifting and getting confident in myself, like my personality, I'm not going to say my personality completely changed, but I was just happier, more confident, and then I feel like I was a more positive person in general. And I feel like when you're confident in yourself, you aren't comparing yourself as much to others. And honestly, even if you're not looking to grow your glutes, if you're looking for a fun hobby to keep you healthy, that's good for you, or 10 out of 10 recommend lifting or just doing something active that's good for you, whether it's yoga, Pilates, cycling, or again, just something you enjoy that's good for your mental health. It's a huge part of my fitness journey is that my mentality changed completely, and it's not all about the glute growth. I don't know, I just wanted to throw that in here because I was editing this video and I didn't talk about the mental aspect of my fitness journey, and I was like, that's a huge part, and I don't really feel like it's as talked about. And like, yeah, I've grown my glutes, but it's honestly more than that. I love lifting. I love challenging my body and seeing what I'm capable of. And I just love how the view I had of my body has changed for the better, and I'm not constantly ragging on myself. I accept every stage that my body is in now, whether I am bulking or cutting. My view of food has changed as well. As I mentioned, I used to binge eat. I'd try and not eat anything, and then once I got to the point where I was so hungry, I would binge on literally nothing but junk food or anything that was in sight. I feel like Grace Fit UK really helped me see that, you can have, or it's Grace Beverly now, but you can have cheat meals. I don't even like calling them cheat meals, but, it's all about balance. You don't have to completely restrict yourself of something because honestly, that's not realistic. And it took me a lot of times to figure that out. My fitness journey is, yes, I've grown my glutes, I've changed my body, but I've also changed not only my mental aspect and like the way I view myself, but my relationship with food has changed, and just overall I'm a more happy person. I go to the gym and it makes me feel good. I love the endorphins, and it really does help with my mental health, and I don't know, it's just something I enjoy doing. And I just wanted to throw that in because if you're looking for something that's going to help you with your mental health or stuff like that, I 10 out of 10 recommend starting your fitness journey if you haven't already, or I don't know, just starting something that's good for you and makes you feel good. So, yeah, I don't know what else to talk about. I will try and have my fitness Q&A uploaded too, because there's other topics that y'all asked me about that I haven't addressed in this video. I just kind of wanted to do the fitness journey, talk about how long I've been lifting, what I feel like has helped me grow my glutes, and all that good stuff. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, comment down below any more video ideas y'all have, and I'll see y'all in my next video.